2002, being on the planning team for the provincial youth event in Portland, Oregon in 2004, attending the Episcopal youth event at 30 years old in Oklahoma City in 2017, attending my first Episcopal revival at General Convention in Austin in 2018. I have chased the mountaintop around the country. I've supported others seeking their own experience atop the mountain. And I continue to chase and support, seeking that next experience that will fill me with the radiant light of Christ in a visceral and confounding and stupefying manner. Creating opportunities for others through my gentle prodding or even downright pushing, to get others to share in the moments and experiences that have made a huge impact on my own life, that have fueled my life in faith, that have encouraged and set me upon this path, this vocation that I'm called to live into. I 100% get Peter today. Oftentimes, Peter is held up as a faithful foil of sorts, someone who is so full of faith, but also so very much human that he often falls short as he builds up to being worthy of the designation of the rock upon which the church is built. But today, I don't think it's fair to paint Peter in a negative or even naive manner. Perhaps that's selfish of me to protect my own understanding of faith, but I just completely and fully get where Peter is coming from today, wanting to stay on that mountain. Peter, James, and John are present for the transfiguration of Christ. This moment when Christ undergoes a complete change of form into a more beautiful and more spiritual state. Of course, Peter wants to build dwelling places and to stay on the mountaintop forever. This is a profound moment. This is a moment when the full radiance and glory of Christ is on full display. It would instantly change any person who witnessed this moment and this experience. Of course, he would want to stay in the midst of that moment and celebrate the reality that has been made known to them on that mountain. I know that feeling. I know recognizing that moment with your very soul. And I also deeply know the reality of what comes next. You cannot stay on the mountain. Peter, James, and John follow Jesus back down the mountain. And Jesus instructs them not to share this story, to not share this moment until after he is gone. Ministry, the church itself, is not on the mountaintop. You don't come to worship every Sunday to experience the mountaintop. This isn't to say that you cannot find your mountaintop here on any given Sunday. And for my money, your best bet is either on a day we're doing a baptism or Easter. But that is why we come, but that's not why we come here. We don't come here for the mountaintop. To get a taste, maybe. To get that necessary fuel for life, of course. But we're not here to dwell on the mountain. We're here to be reminded of what happens when we experience that mountaintop. We're here to be reminded of those moments in our own life and faith that fundamentally altered our being. We're here to be reminded of those moments in our own life and faith where we were converted. We're here to be reminded of those moments in our own life and faith where the church provided a home, a stable, reassuring, ever-ready presence. We're here to be reminded of those moments in our own life and faith where the glory and radiance of Jesus Christ shone brighter than we had ever experienced it before, and perhaps have never experienced again. And in that, we are here so that we can go back out and change the world around us. For the work of the church is not on the mountaintop. We cannot have church without this moment on the mountain, because the mountain fuels us in a manner that sustains and invigorates and even reinvigorates. But that is not where the church is. The church is out among the people. The church is out among the creation. The church is everywhere, in everything. And this is why Christ instructs these trusted disciples to keep this moment to themselves. Because the work they are doing is not about what happened on that mountain. The work they are doing is simply fueled by what has happened on that mountain. We enter Lent this Wednesday. Next Sunday, we start over again with Christ as he enters into the wilderness at the very beginning of his ministry. We go every single year from this moment on the mountain into the fasting, prayer, and temptation of Christ in the wilderness. The wilderness is not a mountaintop experience. The wilderness is a rough place. It is not full of Christ shining in radiance and glory. And yet this transition speaks so much to our own experience of faith, our own journey as followers of Christ. We have to come off that mountain and do the real work of being church in creation. And in that work, we have an advantage, for we have the light of Christ with us. The star of Epiphany shone that light of Christ when he first entered into our creation. Christ shines again in glorious splendor in this moment of transfiguration upon the mountain. And we take that light with us as we walk out into the wilderness with Christ as Lent begins. This cycle of light and dark, of bringing light into the dark, is the cycle of our church calendar. This cycle of light and dark, of bringing light into dark, is a reflection of our own experiences in creation and the call that we have received as followers of Christ. This cycle is the cycle of baptism, death and rebirth, darkness into light. This cycle is the cycle of Holy Week. Light is extinguished only to return in a blaze of glory. So as we enter into Lent, remember your own mountaintop experiences. As we enter into Lent, remember that we do not stay on that mountain. Rather, we take that experience. We rejoice in that moment, in that radiance and glory and splendor of Christ, and then go back out into the world to do the work that we have been called to do as followers. Then, return to this place, to be filled once more with a taste of what a life in Christ is like. Knowing that every day cannot be a mountaintop experience. Even the disciples, and even just 3 of the disciples, got to have that one moment. So rejoice in those that we have had. And know that Christ's light still leads us, still fills us, still comforts and strengthens us in all of the work that we are called to do. Amen.